In 1154, Frederick Barbarossa, King of Germany, descended into Italy for the first time to be crowned King of Italy and Emperor in Pavia. At that time, northern Italy was divided like a mosaic into many small communes, each governed autonomously by councils and constantly at war with each other, in an attempt to assert dominance over neighboring cities. One city in particular, Milan, was flourishing due to its commerce and formidable military strength. Some cities, such as Lodi, which was destroyed by the Milanese, and Como, which met a similar fate, attempted to stop Milan's expansion, but failed. Barbarossa intended to restore order in Italy by installing his officials in the cities and re-establishing imperial authority. The second descendant into Italy. In 1158, Barbarossa descended into Italy for the second time with considerable forces because Milan had rebelled against the officials appointed by the emperor. In the summer of that year, he submitted Brescia, an ally of Milan, and initiated the reconstruction of Lodi. During that same year, Barbarossa assembled a Diet assembly, where he established the powers of the emperor. In 1159, Milan, Brescia, and Como rose up in rebellion, but they were suppressed by Barbarossa without any fatigue. In 1162, Barbarossa besieged and captured Milan. However, this time, the city had to pay for its disloyalty to the emperor. According to Roman law, this crime fell under the Legio Maestatis, the worst of the offenses. Consequently, Barbarossa gave each commune that had supported him a portion of the city to destroy, leading to the complete destruction of Milan. The formation of the Lombard League. In 1166, all the Lombard cities, except Pavia, joined the Lombard League, an alliance of communes that wanted to limit imperial power. Their first act was to rebuild Milan. The League was supported by Pope Alexander III, and in his honor, the League built the city of Alessandria in Piedmont, a symbolic city for the alliance. The last descendant of Italy. In 1174, Barbarossa descended into Italy for the last time with 100,000 troops, primarily composed of infantry and cavalry. He led a siege to Alessandria due to its symbolic importance but failed to capture it. With his army exhausted, he spent the winter in his loyal city of Pavia and began negotiations with the Lombard League. But these talks ultimately failed. Barbarossa's allies were his faithful cities of Pavia, Cremona, Como, and Lodi, while his enemies were Alessandria, Milan, Tortona, Brescia, Crema, Piacenza, Verona, and Bergamo. Despite repeated attempts to besiege Alessandria, Barbarossa could not capture it and eventually retreated to Como. The Battle of Legnano. All the forces of Barbarossa's allied cities reunited in Pavia, and if the Barbarossa successfully joined them, they would have formed a terrifyingly powerful force. Milan, conscious of this, reunited as many knights as possible from the Lombard League and recruited nearly 1,000 infantry troops and 700 horsemen. Barbarossa's army consisted of 3,000 well-prepared knights and several thousand infantry troops, totaling around 7,000 men. Barbarossa was marching south along a narrow strip of land between the Olona and Ticino rivers to reach Pavia when he unexpectedly encountered the Lombard forces between Borsano and Legnano. The first clash happened between the cavalry units positioned at the vanguard. Initially, the Lombard League's forces were winning against the Imperial forces, so the Barbarossa decided to charge the opponents, crushing them, and emboldened by the fear they retreated towards Milan. Wasting no time, Barbarossa decided to attack the infantry lines, which were positioned in a semicircle around the Carroccio, a cart with a cross banner used by the Lombard League in that battle to hold position around it, in 4 lines. The infantry formed a formidable wall of spears that was difficult to break. For 6 hours, Barbarossa attempted to break through the line with repeated charges, but none succeeded. Meanwhile, the cavalry that had retreated towards Milan met some reinforcements on their way to the battle. After reorganizing, they returned to the battlefield and, unexpectedly, outflanked Barbarossa's units. Barbarossa himself fought among his men, but his horse was killed, leading to rumors that he had died. Additionally, the Imperial standard-bearer was also killed. Attacked from two sides, the Imperial troops could no longer hold their position and were defeated, and chased for 8 miles by the Lombard forces. Many were prisoned and killed during this chasing. The losses. The exact losses are not well documented, but it is estimated that the Imperial forces suffered losses around 30 to 40% of their army, approximately 3,000 to 4,000 men, either killed or captured. On the other hand, the Lombard League forces suffered approximately 10 to 20% of their army, which would be around 1,250 men.